parts are most likely in the Clockwork City, or in Dwemer Ruins in Tamriel. I've heard of corrupted memory crystals firing at random, so you may want to return occasionally to see if the Precursor knows anything new. There's no way to be sure short of asking Lord Set, but many signs point that way. The dwarven influences, the different coloring, the male voice. Not to mention he's more, shall we say, loquacious than your average factotum. Factotums don't have emotions or individuality. They say whatever they're functioned to say, nothing more. But this one seems to have a personality of sorts. For what reason, though? We have to continue our research if we're to find that out. Finally done it! We gathered all the parts the Precursor needs to fully regain functionality. Oh, what a gleaming day for innovation. I must weave the fine threads of the tertiary connections between the Precursor's parts. That will allow it to remain stable while moving. Not an easy task, believe me. I need you to go alert my sponsor, Lector Travura. Unfortunately, she has ensconced herself deep in the mechanical fundament to meditate on the nature of the sublime piston. I haven't seen her in over a year, but I'm sure you'll have no trouble with the patrolling factotums. I hope you can get through to Lector Travura. She's remarkably reticent when she's thinking deeply on the will of the divine metronome, which is often. Any apostle who gains the position of lector is worth admiration. To learn the will of Sotha Seal is a noble pursuit in itself, but to have the wisdom to teach that will? It is a goal that many of my order pursue, but few obtain. Every apostle is expected to take upon a specific field of study. Lectors are assigned to help with the pursuit of that knowledge. Set knows that it wasn't easy getting Lector Travura to agree with my particular field. Our mentorship is unusual. Her supposed incredulity is only meant to spur me on, push me to do better, reach higher. Her dislike of my field is only a part of this. And now is finally the time to prove myself.
Inventory, of course.
Understood. I will run through the inventory.
Oh, Sovngarde, take me now.
intricate network of loops, gears, and strings, all interwoven in a delicate pattern which focuses the strength of all without tearing at the seams. Where do you fit in this pattern? Has my wayward pupil found something of worth? Xenon is an errant bearing in the system. He acts much but contributes nothing, trapped upon the pendulum. I do not wish for my meditation to be interrupted by frivolity. Truly, replicating the divine is no trivial claim. To reproduce the work of the mainspring Everwound takes more than mere skill or knowledge. To create a factotum where brass and soul have merged to one? Inconceivable. Your confidence intrigues me. Very well. After all, the sermons tell us that knowledge is hidden only to be found, even the mysteries of the factotums. Meet me in Xenon's workshop. Let us see if he will disappoint me once again.
Something is. What do we say then?
Cease your actions, or you will be taken into custody.
Shaw's bones.
Successful in your endeavor? I know Lector Travura isn't always the easiest apostle to convince. Oh, what a relief. Not that she would refuse, of course. Now, for all that you've done, I feel it only proper that you should take ownership of the Precursor. I've learned all I can from it, and I'm sure you'll find it useful for something. Lector Travura, thank you for coming. It's been too long.
Perhaps this auxiliary tells me you've reconstructed a factotum.
Yes, right here. It's almost emerged from liminality.
Fascinating. How did you manage to refactor the subjectivity lacework? Did you construct a locus of menace to stabilize it?
The factotum has a record of all the operations I made. I'm afraid I was in something of a trance. Possibly divine inspiration.
Possibly.
The reconditioning is complete. May I present my finest work, the Precursor.
What a relief to be in one piece again. And you fixed my nagging elbow joint. Bravo, Apostle. Bravo.
Oh, divine metronome, why do you test me so?
Why, an addition to our party. Forgive my rudeness, Apostle. You may call me the Precursor.
I know what you are. Pendulate. The holy text calls you the oscillating sun.
I'm afraid the texts are a tad inaccurate then. Sofa Seal did not create me with a gender in mind.
Silence, blasphemer. They speak of a fractured creation of Lord Set, discarded in the First Era, left with the knowledge to rebuild itself only to test his pupils.
Fractured? Discarded? I'm just a tad old is all. I'm sure this is just a mistake.
Your only purpose is to convince unworthy apostles to rebuild you. Any child could complete such a task.
But Lecter, it's not as simple as you say. I learned much from working on this factotum. My research has been advanced tenfold.
If you develop the skill of contemplation instead of mere tinkering, perhaps you would know better, Zanon. Speak to me when you've done so, and dismantle that thing.
Excuse me? Dismantle?
Lecter,
Why,
please
I
don't
never...
go. I still don't understand what you want from me.
But Apostle, what of me?
You can go jump in a recycling furnace for all I care.
How rude. I've never seen such a farce. What has happened to this state in intellectual curiosity in Clockwork City? I'm simply beside myself. spring-loaded today, aren't you?